What's up, Wolves fans? So I just kind of wanted to make a video shooting from the hip, talking about game one, two Wolves against the Lakers, kind of my reaction, first thoughts. A lot of my thoughts here aren't super well thought out. I'm just kind of explaining what I saw, some of the things that went well and some of the things that went wrong. Just jumping right into the box score for the two Wolves. Um, it was a pretty poor shooting night. I mean, missing seven free throws just shouldn't happen. I understand maybe one, two, even possibly three free throws you miss. But seven, I mean, we lost by seven, so it's tough to see that. I think that it's something that just gets better as the season goes on. But the biggest thing that stands out to me right now is the amount of shots that Julius Randle had. Taking 10 shots a game for Julius Randle when he's supposed to be a 20 plus point scorer just it doesn't work. I understand this is his first game back, but I would have rather had him be taking 20 plus shots. Like I think that it's okay to have Ant at 25. I would even like to see a little bit more, but Julius Randle needs to be at least at 15 plus shots. Just taking 10 shots a game is not going to work, and I think that that's actually a place where he's going to get better at taking more shots. I think he was just kind of hesitant, and didn't really know where to find his spots. But I really liked the rebounding he did. And he looked really good moving the ball around. Again, I wish he would have been trying to find um, buckets more instead of just trying to find other players. But I do like that aspect. And then for the love of God, Jaden McDaniels needs to stay out of foul trouble. The entire game, it was just I didn't feel like he had a lot of stupid fouls, but it was just hard to watch because as soon as he goes out, you can just tell that our offense slows down, our defense isn't as good. Anthony Davis just went off because he was only going one on one with Rudy Gobert. And before I get to Anthony Edwards, I want to quickly talk about Mike Conley. This was, I think, the worst Mike Conley game that I've ever seen, even before he came to the Timberwolves. It's easily his worst Timberwolves game, but this is the most poor outing I've ever seen from him. I really don't expect it to happen again. He had some just disgusting turnovers. He had three, um, and they were pretty crucial. And sometimes where we kind of had some momentum going, and they were just killed by those turnovers. So I'm expecting him to get a lot better. I don't think he's ever going to have a game as bad as this. And then Anthony Edwards, 41 minutes, and he looked good. There was a few moments that he was kind of trying to play hero ball when we were down by a lot, which I totally understand. I'm not really ripping on him for that. I just think that if he could have worked a little bit more on trying to find more guys, I think if we want to win a lot of games this year, Anthony Edwards needs to be averaging more than 5 assists a game. I'd like to see him with the ball a little bit more, moving around, and then having the option to uh, kind of move off ball. And then Nas Reed and Dante DiVincenzo they just did not have a very good game. I think in the same case with Mike Conley, I don't think we're gonna see a Dante DiVincenzo game this bad again. Um, I think that he would be more of a 4 for 9 3-point shooter rather than 2 for 8. And then moving right into the Lakers box score, I think that I think that Rudy Gobert actually played pretty good defense against Anthony Davis. He just hit so many tough shots. Like there really wasn't any moments where I was watching Rudy defend Anthony Davis and it was like, ooh, he got cooked. He didn't really do too well. All of them were heavily contested. It was just that Anthony Davis was hitting every shot. I felt like a lot of the Anthony Davis fouls were really ticky tacky. I know that's just it's part of the game. It's gonna happen every single game. We're gonna disagree on some foul calls. I just didn't feel like he kind of deserved the 15 free throws. That's my only nitpick on that end. He absolutely dominated the game. The Lakers did not shoot well. I mean, 44% and 16% from three. Uh, I thought that defensively we played pretty good. Obviously things can be better, but it was just an Anthony Davis day. And this leads into my first topic that the offense was way too stagnant. There were so many moments where it was just like we were kind of walking on offense. It didn't seem like we were moving the ball around. People were just there was a moment where I remember where Anthony Edwards had the ball in his hand for nearly more than half of the shot clock, and I just don't think that that can happen. If you look at the way that Boston plays, even when they have Jason Tatum and uh, Jaylen Brown, they're moving the ball around constantly. Like they don't have the ball for more than 3 seconds. They're moving it around all the time, and I just don't think that we can win a lot of games when we have Anthony Edwards with the ball in his hands for more than half the shot clock. I think there's ways to alleviate this, which goes into my next point. Julius Randle shaking off the rust. He played a pretty good amount of minutes, and he looked like there was just kind of a lack of effort, which really worries me. I do think, and let me emphasize, I think the lack of effort was on defense, not on offense. I'm really not worried about his offense. It's going to come at some point. He hasn't played for 9 months, so the rust is going to shake off. He's going to be shooting okay, but the lack of effort on defense was really worrisome. Um, I don't think that Cat is really that much better of a defender than Julius Randle, but I could tell that Cat's effort on defense was so much better than Julius Randle. So I'm hoping that doesn't stay. I hope that he, can go back, watch the film, and see like, oh man, I wasn't boxing out any free throw attempts. I was letting a lot of backdoor passes happen. So that worried me a little bit. And then we just talked about this. Looking at the stats, Anthony Edwards had a really good game, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. But again, some of the things that were happening last year when our offense was really stagnant and we were really slow was he has the ball for way too long. We need to move the ball around, and he's going to get a lot more shots when that happens. So this is kind of my first hot take of the year, and I know that Mike Conley's going to be a lot better going forward, but I just think that Dante DiVincenzo needs to be starting these games. I mean, if you look at it, Dante DiVincenzo played around 32 minutes, and Mike Conley played 20. Now, I think some of that was just that Mike Conley wasn't playing very well. I do think that Mike is going to be getting, around 25 to 30, but I still think that Dante DiVincenzo is going to be averaging around 32 to 35 minutes a game. So minutes-wise, it's like Dante's a starter, but I think that Dante is a better fit with our starters with Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. I think he's just a better fit. I think he's quicker. And I mean, he's a better volume 3-point shooter, which I think would help our offense so much. So that's kind of my first hot take of the year, which leads into this point. Dante needs to start. And as you can see, it wasn't a very good shooting night. But those rebounds, I think, are so important in the 32 minutes that Dante played. I think we're going to be seeing that a lot more going forward. So my overall thoughts are: don't worry, don't get ahead of yourselves. We're still one of the top teams in the league. I think it was just, we saw this last year. We just had a slow offensive start. I think all the things that we saw that we did poor, our defense, our stagnant offense, are things that all can be changed relatively easily. I think on the defensive end, it was just effort. If you look at the offensive boards, we were just murdered. The points in the paint was 72 to 40. It was not a very good display. So I'm honestly not worried. I think we're going to bounce back in Sacramento. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really do like making these, just kind of getting my thoughts out. I do really want to hear from what you guys thought. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next one.